Have you ever heard people talking about clad coins and wondered what the heck are they talking about? Well, you're not alone. Hey guys, CFA back with you. So every once in a while we get questions from people, what is a clad coin, CFA? I keep hearing people say clad coinage. What the heck is that all about? Well, it's not a bad question because a few years ago when we first started getting more serious about metal detecting, coin collecting, we wondered the same thing. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know what a clad coin was, so we had to go investigate. What we found out is a clad coin is actually one that has multiple layers of metal in it. Alright? So we put this short little tutorial together here, maybe help some of you amateurs out, anybody else, kind of help explain a little bit about clad coinage. Alright, so years ago, coins were typically made of one single metal, such as this one right here. This is one of my all-time favorites, a large cent, the US large cent, which was almost entirely made of copper. Then you also had coins such as the Mercury dime, and the Standing Liberty Quarter, another one of my favorites, which were made 90% silver. Then we get into more modern coins, where they're called clad and they're multiple layers of metal. So here you see modern dimes, quarters, dollars, half dollars, they're all clad. Now modern nickels and pennies are a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. In 1982, the Lincoln cent changed from 95% copper with a 5% tin zinc composition to a 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper coating on the outer layer. So some people refer to them as clad. Personally, I don't. I just refer them as zinc, simply because the copper coating is so thin. I mean, they're basically zinc coins rather than a clad layered coin. Jefferson nickels are not layered like other copper nickel clad coins like dimes, quarters, and so on. They are actually planchets that are an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. So oftentimes you'll hear nickels referred to as clad, but technically they are not. I've heard many people say they found clad nickels. Maybe you've heard people say they were out digging and they found a pile of clad, including pennies, nickels, dimes, or whatever. But the nickels technically are not clad. So here's three coins. These are actually Kennedy half dollars. If you take a look closely, you can see a big difference in one of them than the other two. So here we've separated them out a little bit. We added some arrows. If you look close, you can see a color difference. There's a color change right in the middle of the two on the outside. The Kennedy half in the center is a 1964 and it's 90% silver, while the two on the outsides are clad Kennedys. So one of the biggest, easiest ways to tell in most clad coinage is you'll see that color difference where the layers are laid upon each other on the coin. Another way to find the metallurgy of the coin is the guidebook United States Coins. There's a lot of coin books out there like this that will tell you what your coin is made up of. Here you can see they're telling you about this clad quarter and the metallurgy it's made up of. And it has outer layers with a bonded inner core, and it tells you the weight and everything else. There's many coin books out there that will give you a good idea of the composition of the coin that you have and whether or not it's clad. Oftentimes it'll say, as this one does, layers, which is an indicator that you have a clad coin. So again, here's the examples of some modern day clad coinage. Most often the more modern of a coin, the more likely it's going to be clad, except for, of course, the nickels. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this short little tutorial on clad coinage. Hope maybe if you didn't know what it was prior to this, you have a pretty good understanding of what it is. If you have any questions on clad coins, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. Either I or someone else in the community, I'm sure, can help you out. Appreciate you watching Coins for Amateurs, and as always, keep checking that change.